All right, welcome to this. So apart from you getting your data from the usual Excel workbook, or picking your data from Excel workbook from SQL Server, or um, Azure Analytics Service, or other sources, you can also get your data set from a website. Directly from a website. I'm not saying that you will go to the website, copy it, and paste it into Excel before bringing it here. No, right? Power BI has a functionality that makes you go straight into the website of your choice and extract your data directly from it and bring it into the Power BI for analysis. So we're going to be looking at that today. Very simple, and it's a very short. It's what you can achieve in a very short step. Let's say in 2-3 steps, right? But then just to give enough focus on it, we are going to pick a scenario of a football league table, right? We all understand that as at the time of this video, the season has ended. The 2004 stroke 2005 football season has ended, and I want to look at the English Premier League table. I mean English Premier League season, and analyze the performances of the team, right, for this season, right? I mean for the English Premier League, and for many of you that are English, I mean that are EPL fans. I mean we have your team to discuss about today, right? So without wasting the time, right? So we still go to our get data and get a data, right? But this time around, we're going to be getting our data from the web. Our source is going to be the web, right? So you can come and scroll down here and look for web, right? And if you do not have time to scroll down, right, just type web in it, right? And then it's going to bring it for you. So you have web here, right? So click the web and connect, right? Connecting it means that it's asking you, it will go ahead to ask you that what is the URL, right? URL. So I do not have the URL. So what I will do is to go to that website where I want to pick the table for, copy the URL and come paste it in, right? And then let's go there. I'm gonna go to my Sky Spot, right? Let's do that. Sky Spot on Google. Um, let's do EPL table on Sky Sports, right? So yeah, so that should be this, right? And it's gonna load it out for me. All right, so we have the EPL table for men and women and all of that, right? I want to focus on the men, right? Men. I know this video is open to both men and female, of course, but then this is not for partial, but then permit us to use the men's table. All right, so this is the table, right? And then and here is the URL here, right? So I'm just going to copy the URL from here, copy, then I'll return to my get data source and just paste, right? You can choose between the basic and advanced. Of course, let's just use basic. You can do any of the two, no issue. So, and I'll say okay, right? And then we are going to watch Power BI, right? Use this URL link, connect to Sky Sports and extract the table from that, right? And bring it down into the Power BI. But we understand how it works, right? So it doesn't come straight into the Power BI. It first of all load it into the Power Query Editor. So you're going to see a list of the table that the list of the tables that you can find on that URL link. You're going to see it listed here on this navigator pane, right? So that's why it's still loading, right? So it's going to list all the tables that are on that link to load it for us. And then of course we're going to pick a single table that we want to work with. And if you intend to work, with more than one table, we're going to select all the tables, right? And then load all of them, right? Of course, we're going to see the preview here, load all of them into the Power Query Editor, do a little bit of transformation, and then go ahead to analyze our data. It's so simple. So you can see now I'm going to pick, there are several tables, table 1, table 2, 3, 4, and that. But then let's preview one after the other, right? The preview is here. So this seems to be our table, right? the EPL table, you can see these are English teams, right? This is the match played, this is the win, draw, and all of that. Okay, this seems to be the table, right? So to do a little bit of cleaning, right? Let's transform the data, right? And I'm going to see the data A. So one of the things that I always make us do as the first step when you load your data set into the Power BI from the Power Query editor is to first of all, right, go to the model view, right, and on the model view, right, we would see we can see through the connection, right, but then that is if we have gotten to the Power BI. So let's work on the Power Query editor at first. These are the data. This is the data set, and we can see the column quality, right? They are all valid, 100% valid, no error, no empty cell, right? 100% valid, no error, no empty cell for all of that. So it means that um, it seems to be very clean. Of course, we pick it directly from there. We don't expect to have a dirty data there. But then the few things that may need attention here is the name, right? This is string team, right? Let me rename it to team. So I just double click on that area, and I'm going to change the name to team, right? Enter. Same thing here, right? I'll double click on this, and I change the name to match played. Enter, right? Double click on this, change the name to wins, right? I'm going to do that for all of them. I think it's for all of them, right? This is draws, right? This is losses, right? Should it be lost or loss, right? This is an English class for them. Put in there what you think should be there. All right. This is goals for, right? So I'm just going to change it to goals for. That is the number of goals that the team score, right? And this is goals against, right? That's the number of goals conceded, right? So I'm going to call this goals against, right? And then goals difference is the differences between the goals scored and the goal against, right? So that is goals for minus goal against. So we call it goals. That's right, goals difference. Differences. All right. And finally, we have the points, right? The points they have gathered, right? Points. That is fine. So what else to do? Maybe we want to look at the data type. This is position, the position of the team at the end of this, the 38 matches, right? This is Liverpool. Obviously, you can see that Liverpool in match the team lead, right? I mean, the league lead. All right, we have Arsenal being second, Man City being third, and all of that, right? So data type is a number. We are good with number, right? Team data type is a text. That's why we have ABC, this icon here, right? And every other thing is correct. So we are good to go. So I'm just going to close and apply. So we are going to load the data straight into Power BI. So let's watch it being loaded into the Power BI. So it's loading, but then why it is unloading? I was saying something the other time that one of the things that you want to do when your data is finally loaded from the Power Query editor into the Power BI is to go and check the model view. This is the model view here, right? This is the model view, and then try to find connection between your tables. But it is very important if you are analyzing from 2 or more tables, right? But then this is just one table. There may not be so many things to do, regarding that. But then if we have multiple tables, right? We're going to establish the relationship between them, and of course, how to do that. We're going to look for 2 important keys within the tables, within the 2 tables, right? The 2 tables will be divided into 2, right? I mean, when you have more than one table, that you want to establish a relationship between them, the tables are grouped into 2, right? One is a fact table, then the other one is a dimension table. So if you have 5 tables at the end of the day, one of the 5 tables will be a fact table. It can also be 2 anyway, but then there will be a major table that's called the fact table. Then there will be other tables that are called the dimensions table, right? So the dimension table are just going to be, defining the fact table. The key table will be the fact table. You understand? So the fact table, we have a primary key, right? You know what primary keys are, right? So these are keys that are not null and are unique, right? That's a primary key. Then the dimension table, we have a foreign key, right? So we will connect the foreign key on the dimension table to the primary key on the fact table. That's how to establish the connection, right? Connect the foreign key on the dimensions table, right, to the primary key on the fact table, right? And of course, there will be other things to do, right? That is if you go examine what we have on the model view, right? Like I said, this is the model view, and let's just touch on it. So if I come to this model view, I'm going to see that this is the table that we have at the end of the day. This is what we imported into the Power BI from the Power Query editor, right? So the table name, we just call it table one, right? We can change it if you need to change it. Maybe we'll call it an EPL table. Maybe we should have called it that, but we didn't change it. We can always do that. To do that, I will just return to transform data, return me to the Power Query editor, but I don't want to do that now. And I can just adjust that, right? So it's the only table here. So there's no relationship to establish. So I'll return to my, if I come to this table view, then I can see this table in form of a table, right? And you can see all of it here, right? Right? You can see all of it here. I'm just waiting for it to load. It should load the table for us, right? So this is thank you. This we can see it now. It's showing, right? This is the table. Then what I want to do is to design a dashboard for it, right? So I'll return to my report view, and if I come in here to this data pane, I can see all the columns in here, right? Now you can see that it is reflecting the name the name I have renamed them to be, right? From the Power Query editor, right? So that we do not have error. That is the essence of the Power Query editor, to transform the data set into a suitable environment. So now, let's design the dashboard for it, right? Don't forget that we have picked this data set from the web, right? And it is still connected to the web, right? So we do not have it, we do not have the data in our Excel book, or we do not have a data set, a database where the data is from. It's directly from the web. All right. So the first thing that I always say to do when you want to design your dashboard, after establishing the relationship, is to ensure that your dashboard has a title. There should be a title, right? And then beside the title, there should also be a logo, right? We are working with the EPL. So let's try to bring in the logo. So I have the logo on my system, right? So I will just go to Insert tab, pick image, right? Under Insert tab, right? Image, and then I think I have the logo on my desktop. I have EPL logo here, and I'm just going to pick it, right? And then it's going to show in there. So I will resize it to what I want to the size I want it to be. I'm going to resize it. It's loading a bit, so let me make it load. Auto recovery. I don't want this, right? All right. All right. So I'm trying to resize it. All right. Let's do okay for this so that she's not disturbing us. All right. I think that is fine enough. So let's do the heading now, because I have the logo already. And to do the heading, still on this insert tab, I'm going to pick this text box, right? And then let's call it um let's call it uh 2024 stroke 2025 English Premier League performance, right? Performance analysis, maybe you want to call it that, right? Okay, and then make it bigger. Yeah, let's do 24. Is it big enough? Yes, I think 24 is good. 24. Maybe you want to look at another font. Let's do area black. Area black. All right. What else? So let's take it up. I'm gonna take it up here. I'm gonna drag it up. All right. So what else? Maybe I want to bring it to center, and then do the justification to be. Maybe I want to drag it. All right, like that. So let's keep it at this. I may need to okay. Let's do format background to black. So I can come to this area called visual format. Am I still on that? So I'll select this first. I will ensure that this is selected. Then come to text box effect, and I'm going to pick this color. I intend to use this color, right? This color here. So let's come to more color and look for that color. So at the moment, if I have the code of that color, I'll just type in the code here and it will just bring me the color without stress. But I don't have the code, right? The X code of the color. So I'll just find a way to look for what looks like it. So I'm around blue. I know that's something like a deep blue color. So I think it should be something around here. It should be very closer. Let's keep seeing. Maybe this, maybe this. So maybe I may not get it at the end of the day, but then let's look for what can work. This is tough getting it. So let's keep on, let's work on this because of our time, all right? And then we'll keep it on that. And then that also means that my color, should change because the font color there, is not showing. So I'm going to use white for the font color. Yes. So I believe this should be better. Justification to the middle, right? And then maybe I just want to make it come down a bit. Yes. And then we have that. So it has a title now, right? So let's begin to analyze this. I love to use card visual, right, to see some important values, important figure that we actually want to pay attention to. For example, the number of match played, the wins, the draws for each team they are important numbers that we want to see at first sight. So I'm going to create them using the card visual. So the first one is to know the total match played, right? We call it match played, right? And I'm going to select it. I will select it. This guy is not selected. Okay, let's do that again. Let's close this. Right. Select this. Whole match play select. Okay, we want to put it on card visual, so I can select card, right? And then, all right, so that is done. So now you can see, you are seeing that there are 760 sum of match played, right? So all the match played all together, sum to throughout the league, the season sum up to 760 matches, right? 760 matches, are played all together, right? So it means that, you have 20 teams playing the match. Each of them plays 38 matches, right? So if you sum 38 matches multiplied by the other teams, right, you should have 760. So we have 760 matches played, and then where do we put it? Maybe we want to put it somewhere here. Yeah, maybe we want to put it somewhere there. And then we may need to format it. So to format it, let's just come here. This bigger number, the number 760 is the call out value, right? And the text underneath is called call out category label. So let's give it a background first, effect, and then maybe I want to make it that same color that we are using. Yes. And then so I'm giving it a general color. So I can come back to my visuals and come back to the call out value, give the color value a white color, right? Right. And then give the category label. I want to change the general color. I'm not going to use that blue, that deep blue. So let me change that color to maybe, let's see this. How does it look like? Okay. Let's see another. Let's see another. What other? Can we do this? Yes, let's do this so that my visual, the color, the category, the colored value can return to that blue. Yes, this should be okay by me, right? And then font size, let me return it to 40. 40 will be good. And then my fonts, I'm using area, right? Let's use area. All right. And then let's make it bold, right? And then what else? So I think I should be good with that. So let's go to category label and that font. Let's still use our area. Let's use our area and then make it bold, but increase it to maybe 15. Okay, let's keep it to that, right? Make the fonts, let's make it deep a bit, yeah. And then what else do we need to do? I can come back to this area and change this sum of play to maybe match play, right? So that it's not too long, right? Match play, enter. So this has changed to match play. So what else? Other things that I can do, still formatting it. I can come to this general, still on the effects. All right, let's scroll down a bit and then put visual border, right? And then the visual border, let's make it, I want to do a rounded corner, right? A rounded corner of maybe 9. Let's look at how it looks like so you can see what the corner looks like, right? So there's a rounded corner on that, right? Let's return there. And then still on the general effects, the visual border, let's make that our blue, and that's fine. All right, so match played. So let's look at the wings, right? So I'm going to select wing here. Where's wing? This is wings, right? And I'm putting it on the card visual. So so the total win throughout that league, happens to be 220, 287 wins. So those are the wins. If you add, if you calculate Man City's wins to Arsenal's wins to Liverpool's wins, all the wins altogether is 287, and I'm just going to change it to win instead of the sum of win. And I'm going to pick format printer to just hold on. Let's undo that. Right. Undo that. Yes. So I'm going to pick. All right. I'm going to select this, do format painter, and drop it on this so that it just change itself automatically. Right. So also let's be sure that the size are the same thing. So I have the same size. So I'm just going to put it like that. So I'm done. So let's look at, okay, my sum of win has changed to win. My wins has changed to sum of wins. So I need to re-effect that. All right, enter. So I have wins. So let's look at the draws. Let's look at the draws. So where's draw here? Select draw and put it on card visual, right? And then let's make it have the same size as the other, right? That so in the whole of the league of the season, there are 186 draws, right? In the matches played, right? So I'll pick this color from here, use format painter to drop it here, and everything changes. Let's look at the losses, right? Put it on this, right? Let's call it, let's do format painting first and drop it in there, right? And I want to change that to losses and say enter. All right. What else? I still have, I have go finalized, right? Let's do go finalized. So we have go finalized A or go for, right? So let's put it on card visual, right? And then let's do that, which we've been doing. All right. So pick this from here and then do format painter and drop it there, right? And then what do we call this? We call it goals for, or make it total goals. Let's just call it goals. All right. And then let's see goals for, goals against. Okay, let's recall that to goals for so that we can differentiate it from the go against. All right, that is just trying to load, so please pardon my system. All right, so we are good to go. So let's call it goal for, right? All right, so the next thing now, let's do, of course, click the empty canvas and let's go against, right? Selected on card visual, right? So it's shocking to see that the total number of goals scored in the last EPL is same as the total number of goals conceded, right? 115 to 115, right? I may not have noticed that before now, right? If you actually noticed that before this video, that the total number of goals scored and the total number of goals conceded in this 2024/2025 English Premier League, season is the same thing. Please drop it on the comment section. All right, so I want to change the name to go against instead of the sum of goal against, right? So that is done, and then I have it goal against. I still have one more thing. So let's see goal difference. Obviously, goal difference should be 0 now, right? So let's do that, and then pick that, and then goals difference. Obviously, we need it to be 0. So to have the same shape, let's take it there and use format painter to do that. No, 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 no. I'm not doing it on that. So I can undo, pick the format painter again, right? And put it where I actually want to put it, which is here, right? So I have that. But then I want to change the sum of goals difference to just goal difference, right? All right. So Is that all? So we have goals difference, we have go finalize, go against, yes, we have goals different, and we have points. Let's look at the points, right? At the end of the day. So how many points gathered in that season? Where is points? This is points. So I pick points and I put it on card visual, right? So the total points, in these seasons, 2024-2025 EPL season is 1,047 points. The total point gathered by all the team, right? So, and that is that. So I'm going to change this to points. All right. So these are, some important, figures that I actually want to see. So I want to rearrange it. So let's put it somewhere here. We have match played, um, match played, wins. Okay, I'm going to create. Um, I'm going to create a new shape here. I mean, don't forget that dashboard design is a design, so you have the liberty to make it be how you actually want it to be, right? So I'm going to pick a shape. I'm going to use this shape, bring it somewhere here, right? Somewhere here, maybe something like this. So, and then this shape, because I am bringing this shape after I have brought all this card visual, so it has a tendency of override of being at the top. So I want to go and take it behind, right? So I'll come to view, right? Comes to selection, right? And you can see that shape is at the top, so I'll just drag it down here so that it can be somewhere here. So all these ones can then be on at the top, right? So let me go ahead to put these here. Okay, I don't want this shape again. I want to change this shape. Or I can edit the shape here. Shape. I don't want the rounded rectangle, so I can make it the ordinary rectangle. Just make it a normal rectangle, yes. So I'm gonna put, where is plate? Match plate. Okay, this is match plate. I'm gonna put it here, right? And then I'm gonna have match plate, the point gathered, right? To be beside it, right? Let me bring this. Right. So let's have this like this, and this beside it like this. All right. So our match plate point win. So let's say win here, loss here, right? Total losses there, goes for draws here, goals difference here. All right, goes for here, and go against here. All right, so I want to change this shape to reflect uh, that shape, to reflect the blue we are using. I'm going to do that on style. All right. I actually want to put it that way. Do I want it to be like that? Okay, I think it's no issue. Maybe I will just bring that here. I can select all at the same time. All, 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 and select it with this one and bring everything. Yeah, here. All right. So what else? What else? What else? What else? So let's put the teams in slicer, right? This is a team. I can put it in slicer, team in slicer, right? And then I'm gonna format that slicer, put slicer setting, and then let me put the slicer to be a drop down, right? And then what other things should I do immediately? The slider is not very visible, so I can go to the value and make it maybe 15. Then I'm using area black. I'm using area, right? The color is blue, right? No, I'm not gonna use that blue. I'm gonna use white, right? For that, please don't worry. So let's do the background. I'll make that background be blue so that the white can show. All right, and then just stop there. Then general, let's look at the theme, the title, slicer header, right? Slicer header is where we have the theme. I'm going to make it area black, right? Bring it to maybe 15 is good. Make it bold also, and make it use this. All right, then so I can put this here, maybe extend it to the end, right? So that I can come here, select. What that means is that I can just come here, select a team, and see the performance of that team. So Arsenal played 38 matches and has 74 points, 20 wins, 4 losses, and all of that. So I can easily see that that's what the slicer can help me achieve, right? All right. So more other things to check, right? But then because I don't want to take our time, I'm just going to stop in here. Or better still, let's just try to look for the let's do the top 14, right? So top 14 and put it on a column chart, right? So I can tell my team and then the points, right? Yes, and put it on a column chart. Here is a column chart, right? And we can see the performances of the teams, all of them. But then I want the top 14, so I can come in here and do sort axis, right? I can first of all do um, ascending. That's from first, right? Ascending. Should it be ascending or descending from the one that has the highest point, right? So we're going to do descending. Descending, right? Descending. Yes, so we can put it on descending and see that from there, right? What else can we do? We are showing as table, right? All right. So because of our time, I'm not going to show us. We can come to this new visual calculation to come and we calculate, put in a new DAX that can help us get the top 40, right? But then because of the time, I want the class, I mean the video to end anytime soon. So I'm not bothered to go. I won't bother to do that, right? So what I can do again now is to then format it, right? Can format it. We are already putting it on descending. That's from the top down, right? So let's format this, and then maybe this will be the only thing we'll do. The most important thing, the aim of this video is to show you how to bring in our how to bring in our data set from the web, right? So all of this is just to keep ourselves busy with other things, right? I hope we understand that. So let's quickly do the formatting. On the x-axis, I'm going to use my area black, right? And then let's use the font let's use white. Yes. And then what else? Let's be good with that. And then on the y-axis, right? The fonts still remain area black, right? And this font color white. Perfect. Maybe I want to increase this to maybe 10, right? And then let's collapse that. Grid lines. You can take the grid lines away if you don't want. Zoom slide, the columns. So let's look at the columns. You know, if you're using a bar chart, you have bar. If you're using a column chart, you have columns. So let's change it to this color, right? Is that color appropriate? I want to keep it to, yeah, this looks like this particular color, right? So we can do that, right? And then see the performances of all the things in there, right? What else? Maybe I'm going to stop there. Ribbon data label of, so if you need to put data label, right? I can just to label, you know, the numbers. And if I'm doing that, that also means that I'll need to format that data label, right? Okay, no much change here. Okay, let's do value and then sum of points. They just call it points. Right. So we want to call it points. Points. Okay. It's point that we are putting in there, right? So no issue. We are good to go. No issue. Let's pick our usual area and let's give it the usual with this. Okay, yeah, that's okay. And then this font size is okay also. All right, I don't want to do much, right? Just intentionally have hit on what I actually want to show, and then that will be all, right? So we can put a title and call it okay, nothing more. Let's just stay on there, and then that will be the end, right? So our key focus is to show that you can pick your data set from the web, and then we just see trying to bring out little things from it. I hope I hope there is a new learning from this, right? If this video is useful, please click on the subscribe button and let's learn data analysis together, right? Don't forget our scope covers Power BI, Microsoft Power BI, SQL, and then Excel, Microsoft Excel, right? So on this note, right, we will call it a day. Have a very wonderful day.